Yeah. For for many families, for many people, there are certain select movies that you have to see at least once in a lifetime, or at least once every couple of years. I mean, that a lot of you are probably come up with ones in your head right now: Titanic, Star Wars, uh, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, even. They're great movies that you feel like you have to rewatch every couple of years because they're that good. And recently, I came into possession of another one. A movie that I've seen a lot of people say is one of their favourite movies, and a lot of people say it's a very good movie, and even I referenced it myself from time to time, but the thing was, I hadn't seen it. But, thankfully to say, I now have. For my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's right. Finally seen The Princess Bride. Yeah, as I said, this was a movie I'd heard referenced for years. I'd seen it. Well, I'd seen people make reference to it in TV. I'd seen people make reference to it in YouTube videos. For example, the Nostalgia Critic, he referenced it when he was doing his Mamma Mia review. I'd seen constant people quote the lines, and even quoted a few of them myself. But it was a movie that I just hadn't seen. But I eventually thought, what the hell, and I finally got it. For those who don't know, The Princess Bride takes the framing device of a grandfather reading a story to his sick grandson. Yeah, a story of love, romance, pirates, sword fighting, kings, queens, princesses, and everything. And yeah, it's a really good story. You got a country girl who falls in love with her stable boy. Not straight away, but gradually over time she begins to fall for him. Then because he has no money, he goes off to try and make his fortune, and is supposedly killed at sea by the dread pirate Roberts. She, of course, is very sad, and eventually 5 years later she reluctantly becomes engaged to the prince of the land, but is subsequently kidnapped by pirates and is pursued by both the prince, his armies, and also by a mysterious man in a black mask, who later turns out to be Wesley, still alive. Bit of a spoiler alert there, sorry about that. But yeah, people regard this as one of their favourite movies, and I can honestly see why. I mean, yes, it's slightly dated. I mean, this did come out of the 1980s, but then quite a lot of good stuff did. Gave quite a lot of good movies. But it's one of those things that the nostalgia feel of it, and it's got everything you want in it. It's got sword fights, it's got humour, it's got fighting for true love. It's everything you want. And it is, I think, close to a perfect movie. The question remains, though, does it crack my favourite movies list? Well, once again, I put it to the same thing that I put Ghostbusters in when I finally saw the original Ghostbusters earlier this year. It's a good movie. I can see it is a good movie. But the fact remains, I've only seen it once. And yes, it did make a very good impression. But I don't know if it cracks the top 10 yet. I mean, for those who've seen my top 10 list of my favourite movies for this year, I have got some I've got some good ones up there, such as Kingsman, Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I've got some good movies up there, even Hot Fuzz and Galaxy Quest. I think, like Ghostbusters, it may push my bottom two off the list, which are A Cinderella Story and Thunderbirds. Which, yeah, I feel switching out A Cinderella Story for The Princess Bride, that would probably be a good switch to make. But still, the fact remains, I've only seen the movie once. I may have to see it a couple more times, fairly soon, for it, I think, it to break into my top 10. So, it doesn't quite make my top 10 list yet. And that's the key word, yet. because I think, give it a bit of time, it might just break up there. And I can finally... People may have found it inconceivable that I hadn't seen it for so long, but I finally have, and I think it'll be weaseling its way up there. So, I say to you, for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, have fun storming the castle. Good night.